You were actually just showing me earlier. We can slip some B-roll in here. The virtual reality shit,
Yeah.
So this is an NFT world that you're involved with. Explain how this all works to me.
Yeah, so like couple years ago, the Winklevoss twins, the guys that started Facebook,
Right.
they started a platform, NFT platform, Nifty Gateway. I'm sure you've heard of it.
Uh-huh.
But you haven't?
No, I have.
Oh, okay.
I know everything about NFTs.
Oh, okay, cool. I saw you talking to Gary Vee, so I'm
Yeah, he put
certain
me
you
on.
know a little
I
bit.
still haven't copped that V friend though.
Word.
Got to get me a Pelican. Puffin.
So these guys, they reached out to me and said, "Hey, we're starting this platform, Nifty Gateway, and we want for you to be one of the first artists to come out and do an NFT." And I was like, "What's an NFT?" And like, nobody really knew what an NFT was at that time. And I was just like, I just welcomed it because I just saw it as almost like a new social media. It was just another way to like connect my art with people. And so I was down and I did a couple drops with them, and I did a drop last March when everybody, it was like NFT was like the biggest buzzword, you know, and it was really a crazy drop. And from then I wanted to create something where even when I first started, I was like trying to think, I was way ahead of it, where I was creating like my first NFT that never came out. Like the technology didn't even exist at the time. But so I ended up releasing like some more basic versions of my translating my art to digital. And like, but for this piece that I've been developing for the past year, that I really like dumped a lot of even what I made from NFT into this NFT. It's an overview, again, like I was telling you about sharing the story. You know, I was supposed to do this big art show in LA pre-pandemic that was going to be an overview to really show and give perspective to people of like how this project started and how far it's gone and how many different mediums I've used and whatever. Obviously didn't happen because of the pandemic. And then that really, in those moments, really inspired me, because I was like, how could I still tell this story? How could I connect with people? So I went back and in 2017 at my old Brooklyn studio, where all of the Gucci Ghost project really went down and was conceptualized and created, all the samples and everything. I started like rebuilding that space digitally, because I had it all scanned and archived. I had really do a good job of like archiving all the work that I make. And so during the pandemic, I started building this 3D space that was a replica of the actual original studio in Bed-Stuy, 118 Ralph Ave.
So you were building it, or how'd you go about it? You have to work with somebody who helps you create the 3D scan of it and shit?
Yeah. So I got like a rad digital team, my buddy Jim and Brian. I basically was like, yeah, they had the digital scans of everything. So I'm like, yo, let's rebuild this thing. Let's put everything as it was. We looked at photos and everything that from that time. And so we started building it. And in the past year, I completed this piece. And it's a one of one that is the original studio space that has all the original iconic paintings, objects, like everything that happened in that time. And actually from the 10 years, like I put in some newer pieces into the piece. So it's a one of one that only one person or a group of people can get, but then they can actually break it up and sell it individually. So like each piece would disappear from the space as it's sold, just like, because I wanted to parallel the real world. I wanted to parallel, like, you come in here, you saw that guy, he just came in and they bought that painting and he just came and picked it up. Now it's gone. And it won't be here anymore. So I wanted to make that happen in the digital space.
So every different painting I saw in there is basically represented by its own NFT,
Yes.
and then the space itself is an individual NFT as well?
Yes.
Wow.
So if somebody sold every single piece in there, then they'd be left with just the space.
Right.
You know? But yeah, and it's really unique in the sense that it's tied to something that's actually real. You can look at the value of, like, say, the paintings, the physical paintings, what they sell for. You could look at the value of like what, the art actually made for Gucci. Like and you can look at the story and the time that it happened and go, this really, it's not only like a place and time, there's actual value. It's not some like fugazi, like, oh, this is worth this much. It's like, no, it actually, it holds a certain significance because it's something that really happened. And I think that there's a place in NFT to like really bring something from the physical world and a physical, like a real experience in a real time and place, and like parallel it with the digital and share that story. And so that's going to be the final piece. Once that sells, I'll never make another Gucci Ghost. I'll never do another collab. I'll never make another jacket, nothing. It'll be the last piece. And I've actually started even painting over some of my paintings and burning NFTs to like create such scarcity to protect the value of anybody that's collected my stuff and believed in me as an artist, so that, I'm almost creating the moment when an artist dies. There's just like no more.
Right. So you are just going to Gucci like, hey, it's been real, but I'm not making any more of this stuff.
Yeah.
Was that a tough decision financially, or just you built this relationship? It's like, it's kind of like being in a relationship with a girl. Like at a certain point, you just have to, hey, it's over. I'm sorry. Does it feel like that in a way?
Well, yeah. Well, not really, because I feel like I've existed as an individual this whole time. It's not like Gucci Ghost is just a thing with Gucci. Gucci Ghost has been a thing for 10 years, 3 years before Gucci was ever involved. And it's been something that I've done as an individual and as an artist the whole time. So it's more a moment of me saying, hey, like, I have all these other things that I'm excited about right now. I'm the most excited about this NFT. I believe it's the most progressive way for me to tell this story. It's like the perfect project completion. It's bringing it back to the origins of where it started. It's like archiving and preserving that moment in time. It's some real like Back to the Future shit, because it's like we're going back, but we're actually going forward with technology.
Right.
So I just feel like, Gucci Ghost has like taken so many turns that I didn't even expect over the 10 years. But I believe in this moment, it's the final piece, and I just like am not afraid to take my next leap of faith and go, okay, I'm doing this other thing now, like where, I've been doing a lot of other things the whole time anyway, but it's like I feel like it's just another one of those moments, like when I stopped snowboarding to do the music, or when I stopped the music to do it's just like that. It's just an honest moment of me going, yo, this is a completion, and I'm ready to like move on.
Right. I feel like in the overall internet space, there's maybe a lot of pessimism about NFTs right now. Is that the same case in the art world? Because I kind of feel like the art world is like the best use case for a lot of the NFT stuff. That the way that you talk about it is the way that if you were like somebody who wanted to invest in NFTs, that's exactly the mentality that you would want to have. Right. Whereas like a lot of these like influencers we've seen who do these crazy rug pulls and stuff, like it's not like they ever had the right mentality of like building a long-term brand through their art in the long run. Like how much do you think about that?
Yeah, well, I mean, from jump, like I said, I viewed it as a way to connect with people, and I was just, it's been honest because it's my art, and it's just a way to translate it into the digital space, which I feel like I've done the whole entire time. Every time I make a piece, I take a photo of it, we upload it to social media. We do these digital kind of translations where I fuck with it. I think it's awesome. I think there was a lot of skepticism from the art world, coming into this, because I remember being one of the first artists coming out doing this, like a lot of my peers that I'm like, dude, you should do NFT. It's really dope. Like it's its own medium. Like it's a really rad way to share your art and participate in it forever. And like a lot of people were like hesitant at first because they're like, but I'm like viewed as this fine artist, and how is that? But now it's like completely changed. You go to an art fair, you go to like a museum, you go to any like fine art establishment, there is a NFT component. Christie's, Sotheby's, like everybody's in the game because they know it's not going anywhere. NFT is going to be a part of our future. It's going to be not only just with art, it's going to be a part of brand. It's going to be a part of like just our access to, to be a part of No Jumper. It'll be a part of everything. Like that's how I see it. And, but yeah, there's a lot of people that jump in on the hype and they just try to make a quick buck, and they're not really in it. They're not using it as a medium. They're not like pushing it forward. They're not like, just like people try to do with anything, music, fashion, art, whatever. You see somebody that goes, oh, wow, like this person made $1 million doing this. Oh, okay, I'm going to do that same fucking thing, or I'm going to whatever. And it's not authentic. It's not felt. It doesn't last. But NFT will. And the artists that are really using it correctly and are pushing it forward and being progressive, they will too.
Have you got to the point of buying NFTs from other artists?
I kind of trade. It's kind of like artists trade, like
makes sense.
even like with paintings and stuff, I don't really buy too much. Things that I like or people that I admire, we usually, like make a trade,
That makes sense. Hey, hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, subscribe. We just hit 200K. We're trying to get to 300K.
Turn us up.
Appreciate y'all.
Let's go.